Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Fitbod Blueprint. Tyler, what's happening, man?
Not a whole lot. It's a beautiful, almost spring day here in February. So having a little bit of sunshine and warm weather, it always does the soul good.
I'm curious, what temperature is it? I know you're Celsius. What temperature is it there?
I'm supposed to get up to like 17, 15, which is like in the 60s, mid 60s probably.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so
That's shorts
15.
and t-shirts weather.
Yeah, that's like 60, 63. Dude, you guys are way warmer than us. We're still
Crazy.
sitting, yeah, we're still sitting, like the high for today is 36. So
Yeah,
two
yeah,
Celsius. Like it has been an incredibly aggressive winter here.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
had so many days of like single digits.
Ours is the same. Just it's been in the opposite direction this year.
No, I need some of that warm weather coming my way.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So, dude, we were talking about this a little bit before we hit recording. Tyler is a tired tiger today.
Yeah, yeah, a tired dad today. All
Man,
the parents, rough night of sleep with the little one, up around 3:30 this morning, and had to get to the gym, do some in-person training, which is always great, get some energy from that, but it only takes you so far.
yeah. No, the what I find is that things like that, being tired, it just disrupts your norm and it disrupts like, okay, the slightest little like boring thing, which is our topic for the day, is like the boring things are good. Okay.
Yeah,
And whenever we can't do them, it's like suddenly I miss being able to do the dumb, boring, consistent thing.
yeah, like being bored is a privilege, right? Quinn said that to me the other day. Not being bored is a privilege, but like we were playing like a board game. She's like, "I'm bored." I'm like, "Wow, like that's what? Like you're pretty fortunate to be able to be bored."
No, we tell Ellie and Jesse all the time, like being bored is a good thing.
Yeah, and it is a hard thing, right? Like I still struggle. I struggle immensely with the feelings of boredom of like, oh, I feel like I need to be doing something.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I was watching like it was like a child psychologist just diving into that topic, right? Of okay, well, as adults, especially our generation, we feel like we always have to be doing something.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like whenever you were growing up, was it just like constantly a packed schedule between like sports and hey, got to be here, be at this place? Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, and I don't think though it was necessarily from a bad standpoint. Like I was just a very active kid, right? And I mean, playing hockey growing up, like I mean, hockey was 5 times a week, right? There was 3 practices and 2 games, and then it would be football as well, and then it would also be I did some like track and field and things like that. Starting at 15, had to start working during the summer, right? So I see it like more as like when I was starting to get into maybe like the early 20s, and a lot of that messaging was like, you're the lazy generation, right? Like, you guys don't know what it takes to like work hard and this and that, right? And I think that's where a lot of that came from of like, yeah, if you're not grinding, then you're just wasting your life type of thing, right?
Yeah,
Where to take those moments and to be bored and whatever, just sit down and play some video games. Like that can go a long way with filling that battery.
so for me it was a combination of things, right? Like I played football. That was my sport as a kid, and that was 3 nights a week for the most part. Whenever I was younger, it was like 2 nights a week. But I was 3 nights a week, and then Saturday morning. But then I also, being in a small family business, a lot of times I was working. So it was like if I wasn't doing homework, next on the list, it was like get home. Priority one was homework. Priority two was chores. Priority three was get outside and help dad in the shop.
Yeah.
And if he didn't need any help or he was doing something that I couldn't help him with, then it was,
Get out a
okay,
broom.
well, no, get the yard. It was get on
Yeah.
the mower. Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we had collectively, I think it's like 7-ish acres to take care of.
A lot.
It's a lot. And that's not like get it done in a day type size, especially. I know somebody might listen to this now and go, oh, well, I could do that on my zero turn. Look,
A
we
lot
didn't
different.
we didn't have that. We had a riding lawnmower, like the
Yeah.
tractor style riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yeah, think Forrest Gump snapper with the rectangular handle. Oh, that was fun. But it's funny, and this is what the child psychologist was talking about. Why like our generation particularly seems to have a problem with being able to relax is because of how busy we were as kids. And then I listened to, well, it's not like all of us, right? Because then I listen to some of my friends, and they're like, "Well, yeah, all I had to do was just do my homework, and that was it. I, fucked off and played video games the rest of the day." It's like, I wish that was me.
Yeah. Right.
And now here I am, like, okay, always looking for something to do, still like trying to relax, like
Well,
the Rick and Morty
yeah.
episode where he's talking to Mr. Meeseeks. You gotta just relax, Jerry.
That is like one of my top 5 episodes of Rick and Morty. Watching that for the first time, oh my God, I laughed so hard. But I mean, and now though, like it's hard to find the time to like have downtime with 2 kids, things like that. It's funny. Like I thought I would have a little bit more time with Steph home on mat leave,
Hmm.
and like if anything, I have less time now to like get stuff done because like I'm helping out with Riley so she can go to the gym and this and that, and it's like yeah, like all of a sudden my day's been filled up and I've hardly sat down at my computer for work.
Yeah, I totally get that, man. So it's funny how those seasons of life can just make you miss the boring. And I feel like what happens is a lot of people will start working towards a fitness goal or a health goal or, just general feel better about themselves goal. And as soon as they get into a routine, they're like, okay, but I'm bored with doing this. And it's like, yeah, kind of that's kind of the point. That's a good thing because it's not like you could walk into any gym at 5:30 on a Monday and find the biggest jacked dude there. It's not like that guy is like every single workout every single week like, hell
Yeah,
yeah, I can't wait to get in there and do these lateral raises. I've been doing these 30-pound dumbbells for the last
yeah,
3 months and I can't progress over, but I'm so damn pumped to do this. Like, you're not
yeah.
getting.
You're not always gonna come in with great energy and excitement. That's for damn sure.
But he's the guy that shows up because it's just part of his routine in reality and it's just what he does. You don't find somebody who walks their dog every day and is like, "Oh boy, I can't wait to go walk my dog."
Yeah, the novelty wore off after a couple of years. Now it's like, oh, like I mean, I've switched it to like, okay, I just got to get my steps in, right? Like this is good for me too.
Yeah. So like being in a routine of boring is really what people should strive for. And even early on, people might, before they even get started, go, "Oh God, but I don't want to eat the same thing for breakfast and I don't eat the same thing for lunch." And it's like, well, okay, pump the brakes. You're probably already doing that, but with things that aren't in alignment with what your goal is.
Because like we are naturally creatures of habit, right? Like we kind of naturally do the same thing kind of day in, day out. And what I find a lot, teaching people about nutrition, it's really like raising a level of awareness, right? Because you get someone to, maybe they've never tracked before or they haven't tracked in a while. It's like, okay, like just track for a week. Like, let's just kind of see where things are at. And you'll start to just see a lot of those habits and a lot of those routines and things like that. And so, even just when I'm getting someone potentially started, well, I'll have them track for a week. And it's like, all right, like on average, you're already hitting these numbers. So we're just going to have, these are our starting numbers, but now we're just going to change our level of awareness of like, what are we actually consuming? Because it's going to make that a little bit easier in terms of like not all of a sudden eating far more than you're used to or far less. Like you're already doing this. We might just need to tweak a few things to the types of food that you're consuming and just make it a little bit more, I don't want to say palatable, but a little bit, more in line with whatever your goals might be, right? So maybe instead of getting 70 grams of carbs from Pop Tarts, well, let's maybe get 70 grams of carbs from some sweet potato and an apple. You know what I mean? So it's really trying to keep that habit, that routine there, but we're changing a certain level of awareness.
Absolutely. So the other thing that we got to make sure starts getting established as like habits, I get a surprising amount of pushback on this from people, especially look, if you don't work from home, I know this can be a challenge, but getting boring and getting consistent with your water is like the best starting point. And the number one feedback I get is, oh, but then I'm gonna have to pee all the time. Like I already got a small bladder and I already got to pee a lot. It's like
Yeah.
you're peeing a lot because you're dehydrated more than likely. And as soon
Yeah.
as your body actually learns, like, oh, this is how much intracellular and intramuscular water I can actually store, you're
Yeah.
not trying to constantly get rid of it. And then that could also be a sign, even if you bump your water up, or let's say you are someone who, "Oh, I already drank 100 ounces of water a day, or I already drank 3 liters of water a day." Okay, well, you might only be getting in like 1,500 milligrams of sodium, or you might be getting in 3,000 milligrams of sodium, but you're only getting in like 500 milligrams of potassium.
Yeah.
You need these things to balance out this fluid. So once your body gets used to it though, like your bladder starts to get better at holding. Like across the board. It's like, okay, I'm better at holding it. I'm not having to go every hour like I thought I was. But I think it's also pretty reasonable, like, hey, you gotta go pee 4 or 5 times while you're at work. That's
Yeah.
kind of acceptable. It's not
Yeah.
like you're going to the bathroom to drop a deuce and you're on the toilet for 30 minutes 5 times.
Yeah. Or
Okay,
take
yeah,
it,
your boss might get mad.
or like 20 smoke breaks, right? Like they get their breaks. Why can't I have my pee break?
I
Although
am, yes, that is
yeah,
such a great point, man.
although you'll never catch me chugging water on a travel day. I'm not risking anything. Like I'm going in dehydrated because I don't want to have to like be always peeing. That's my only like, change of the rule.
Okay, so it's funny. It all depends on like if I'm driving, yeah, I'm gonna just I'm gonna go a little under on my water intake, which one day is not gonna kill you. If I'm flying, it depends on when the flight is. If it's like afternoon, I am going to guzzle and chug water like crazy early on and just front
Yeah.
load it
Yeah.
because there are few worse bathrooms than an airplane bathroom. Like porta potty is pretty much it for what.
Yeah. Or a dive bar and there's only like one toilet.
Dude, pro tip: go around back and piss on the dumpster.
There you go.
Pro tip:
Yeah.
if I walk into a dive bar bathroom and it's like, no, there's crap all over the
Yeah.
floor and it's like a toilet
Stress
instead of
me
a
out.
urinal, I'm just gonna go around back and pee on the
Yeah.
dumpster. That's on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That's on them. Clean your bathroom. Now everybody knows what. Everybody knows my secret.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start going to the. I'm gonna start going to
But yeah,
dive bars and just like
yeah, like it's like
there's
just
like
a little
three,
bit.
four other dudes peeing on a dumpster. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, for me, that's my move.
Yeah, like just a funny sidebar on that. Like when we would backpack and like we'd be out through like Europe and whatnot, like it's just a whole different bathroom situation there. And so like if we'd be walking to like a bar or something, and like I gotta pee, I'm not gonna make it. We got like a 20-30 minute walk. Steph would always be my lookout. We'd quick go down like a little side street, and I'd quick try and finish her up, and then keep going. Or the world is your bathroom for
Yeah,
some of us.
yeah,
But
but
no, I think it's the. I mean, the topic kind of came up today for the boring stuff because my wife Steph, she was at a leadership business conference, and like kind of the theme was like you look at some of the, just top leaders in any field, and a common thing you're going to see is like they just do the monotonous, boring things day in, day out at, the highest level, right? And
Hmm.
it's kind of the same thing when it comes to fitness and changing your physique. Like it's doing those boring things. It's getting your water in, it's doing the same exercises, it's eating roughly the same foods, each and every day, the same timing. Like it's all of these small little things that they just, we've talked about it before of compounding over time. Like I'll have clients send in check-ins and they're like, sorry, that was a boring check-in. It's like, well, no, like that's kind of like what we're going for, really. Like we don't want to, if we don't want to be putting fires out every single week, because if we're doing that, then there's something wrong in our process, right? Like there's something that we're missing, because that shouldn't be the case. Either like, yeah, there's something on the back end that we have to go investigate of like, okay, what do we need to change? Like, what do we need to adjust so that we're not kind of coming every single week, like having issues, right? Like, of course, those are going to pop up. Like, that's just going to happen. But like, for the most part, like we should be having some just great week to week to week, and not having all of these things going wrong.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that should be boring is if you're working with a coach, I hate to say it, and I'm not saying this out of like lowering expectations for coaches, but rather your coach shouldn't be making 5 changes every week. If they are, it's a sign that your coach doesn't know what they're doing. It's one thing to be like, hey, I'm giving you feedback after my first week or two of workouts and like, hey, this movement's still causing issue with my shoulders after sending you a form video and I did this, or hey, the machine at my gym is just really uncomfortable. I know I've done this before, but this laying leg curl machine just doesn't work for me because it's flat. I'm used to an arch in the pelvis. Like, sure,
Yeah,
but your coach shouldn't be changing up your macros and also changing up your workouts and also changing up your cardio and also adding in like, hey, start doing 10 minutes of journaling and let's also make sure we're starting in this supplement this week. Like, that's a lot of changes. Most of the time, whenever you check in with a coach, as long as you're seeing some measurable form of progress, there shouldn't be any real adjustments made. You might be talking more on like mindset or motivation type
yeah,
stuff like that's normal to have that wane from one week to the next, or like, hey, I know things are going well, but I've just been really stressed out with work this week. I'm nervous about, am I going to be able to keep this up? That's the stuff that should make up the bulk of your week to week check-ins, because as long as you're executing, hitting your calories, you're doing your workouts, you're doing what the plan is that your coach has laid out, well, it should be working. And if it's working, then there's no need to reinvent the wheel, but let's make sure that the car is on the right path for the week still.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think about like, what's not boring is achieving your results, right? Like that's what we're after. And so I think you kind of have to constantly be thinking about that in the long term of like, yeah, maybe the workouts are a little boring, and I think there is room for like variety on a semi-consistent basis, like arms, right? Like biceps and triceps. Yeah, you know what? If we're changing up your biceps and triceps every 3 to 4 weeks, whatever, right? Like that's fine. But when we're like then looking at your compound movements, a squat or a leg press, something along those lines, those should be like kind of consistently in your program across the board. The reps might change, the sets might change a little, but like other than that, like you're really not going to see that many differences. And so, it's about enjoying that, like that day-to-day process. I mean, it's I mean, use professional athletes for example. Like, do you think they got there by doing the fun stuff, right? Like, no. Like, you think of pro hockey players. I mean, when I was growing up, like that's what I wanted to be, and I was in my garage, every day, 100 wrist shots, 100 slap shots, 100 backhand, like it's just like boom, boom. It's just doing all of that small little stuff because like, you want it to be a point where it's just kind of like muscle memory, right? And but like those are the things that are gonna again, compound over time.
You know what it reminds me of? And I'm sure you've seen it. It's a video that's been going around like Instagram and TikTok of it's a basketball player and he's dribbling the ball like as part of his warm up and he hits like one spot and the ball goes way off and he's like,
The Steph Curry, yeah,
yeah. It was Curry. So yeah, where he so for anyone who's not familiar with it, he's dribbled that ball so many times that he's like, I know I did that right. So he's like other spots around it dribbling. And he's just like taking it and just throwing it down with both hands, catching it, throwing it down with both hands. And then he goes back to that spot and bounces it. And instead of just coming straight back up, it goes off. And that's why we want boring. Like, think about how many times Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, like, does insert any basketball player ever. Think about how many times they have dribbled a basketball, just one, two, three, four, five. Like, it is literally a number that if you ask that person to take a guess, they're going to say the number doesn't go high enough. It's boring. Try to dribble a basketball 1,000 times in a day. It's boring. You're not going to do
yeah,
it unless you're Steph
yeah,
Curry, unless you're
yeah,
Kobe, unless you're Shaq, unless you're one of these guys, Carmelo. Like, you're not going to do that unless you truly love it and you're driven deeply by why do I want to be so good at just dribbling a basketball? Why do I want to be so good at being able to do a slap shot? Why do I want to be so good at being able to do a wrist shot? Why do I want to be so good at being able to do, to be able to do a forward pass? Why do I want to be so good at a shuttle pass? Well, if you want to be a pro basketball player, pro hockey player, pro football player, you have to do those things. Whenever I played football, so I played center, the number of times that I would just down into my stance and literally hike the ball to no one
yeah,
because it's hike and punch on the way up, hike and punch on the way up. You've got to be able to get that pop. I would do that so many times that I can't even begin to tell you how in a week during football season, at least 2,000 practice snaps.
yeah,
If I had to take a conservative guess, at
yeah,
least. And this is somebody that I never had the aspiration to want to be a professional center, but that was what I did and I was good at it. Whenever you look at your health and fitness goals and it's like, okay, well, I don't want to track my food and weigh it and log it every day. You might not want to do that, but it's what you need to do. If your goal matters that much to you, you'll find the drive to do it. If you really want to lose those 25 pounds your doctor's telling you to lose, if you really want to get off of the blood pressure medication, if you really want to try to improve your fasted glucose level, your HbA1c, if you really want to do those things, you mean to tell me 5 minutes a day to break out a food scale, weigh your food, log it into a tracking app so that you're hitting your calorie budget? You mean to tell me that's so boring that you would rather suffer through and not achieve your goals
yeah,
because it's 5 minutes of boring a day? Now that is a heck of a privilege to be that bored.
yeah. It's a very small amount of your day, right? It's, hey, 5 minutes less of scrolling, right? Like, you start to kind of think about it and break it down in that sense. It's really not much of your time. It's funny, like me and Steph were having this conversation the other day, but it was more in regards of like tidying up the house, right? And or instead of just putting the dishes in the sink, you just put them in the dishwasher right away. In our minds, it's like, oh, it's gonna take a bunch of extra time. When in reality, it is just like it's an extra 5 minutes, and then it's just done, right? Like, and it's just a lot of those, like, just so many parallels with the word slipping my mind, but yeah, it's just taking that small amount of time where it feels like it is a lot, but when in all reality you break it down and it's seconds out of your day. And I would probably say the majority of us have those seconds. We may have brought it up on a very early podcast, but it's like I can't remember the exact numbers, but if we all took 1 hour less of screen time a day, it opens up like, again, I can't, it was an enormous amount of hours in a year, right? Where it's just like this, you don't think about it, but it's like, yeah, you just do that one less thing. We're all guilty of just sitting there and scrolling for 30 minutes. And man, that could have been spent maybe just meal planning for the week, right? And writing out your grocery list. And then boom, done. That was 30 minutes of your time, but now you're prepared for the week and at least knowing what you're going to be eating on a day-to-day basis. And you have your grocery list ready to go.
So I'm curious about this now because, like, all right, 1 hour. I want to just
It
get the
was
math right.
Again, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was something along those lines of just like, or maybe it was even something as small as like 30 minutes a day or something, and just how
Ooh.
much it opens up.
Here's what the all right, 1 hour a day. That's
Yeah,
7 hours a week.
it'd be 300.
That's 364 hours in a year divided by 24 hours a day. That's 15 days that you could gain back by just being done with the phone. Imagine if you had 15 days of 24/7 working towards anything.
Yeah, literally anything.
No sleep, no sleep till Brooklyn, no needing to eat, no needing to take a dump.
Quinn saying that she's like, no sleep till Brooklyn.
No, I'll get down on some Beastie Boys.
But yeah, like it's and so yeah, you kind of then go, okay, like yeah, maybe I can take that 5 minutes to weigh out my food. I can take that extra 5 minutes to do my prehab work before I, start training, or I can do the warm up sets, all of those little things that we feel like take a lot of time. You break it down like that, it's okay. Like, no, that time is there, and it's probably better spent doing that than scrolling on my phone.
1,000%. And look, for the dads that are listening, especially us dads, let's get a little real check in with ourselves. How much time do we sit on the freaking toilet every day?
You know what? I can't say that I'm too guilty of that. Like, I like to be in and out.
Man, see,
Sorry. I knew you were setting it up, but
I know for me, well, at least the wives listening are going, yeah, exactly. What are you guys doing in there? Why did it take you so long to poop? Because I'm setting my macros for the week. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah,
And I'm scrolling TikTok.
yeah. But I mean, even then though, like you can like put in your weigh and set up 60% of your day in MyFitnessPal, right? Like, because again,
And
if we're
that's
kind of eating roughly the same thing every day, I mean, MyFitnessPal has it set up where you just gotta swipe right essentially, and it's just like if you're doing it enough, that meal's already right there, and it's just boom, and then you just gotta go weigh it out.
well, so in our Trainerize app, which they've really done an impressive job in the last year of really beefing out the meal tracker. If you just simply hit favorite, it's literally one click to go, hey, this is one of my favorite meals, and now you can just boom, two presses on the screen and it's done. And the reality is this: most people are already repeating, like I said earlier, you're probably already repeating the same like two or three options every day for breakfast, probably the same, 2 to 5. In the event of you're someone who's big on like leftovers from dinner the night before, like you're probably still repeating a lot of the same stuff regularly. It's just now let's repeat things that are in alignment with your goal. And whenever you're doing those things, boring creates consistency, consistency creates results. Again, dribbling a basketball 10 times isn't going to make you an NBA first round draft pick, but dribbling it, 1,000 times a day for 15 years from the time you're 5 and you first bounce a ball until the time you're 20, well, yeah, you're going to be really damn good.
You
You know,
should be.
hey,
Yeah.
you practice hitting a free throw. There's nothing special or sexy about just, hey, doing a free throw. But whenever you practice 100 free throws a day or 500 free throws a day, and you do that from, you know, age 8 to 18, and of course, hopefully you're also blessed with height genetically, but if you do those things and you dribble and you do this and you do that, it's like, well, yeah, all these guys that are professional NBA players, it's because they did the boring things. All these guys that are hockey players, it's because they did the boring things. Soccer,
Yeah.
baseball, like you name it. Think about darts, okay? It is literally flick,
Yeah.
you're throwing a dart. You're
Yeah.
throwing a dart. but the guy is so good at it. Like the world champion dart player makes like $10 million a year or something from sponsorships and everything.
I'm gonna go tell Steph that I'm just gonna spend all my time in the bars because I'm gonna become a professional dart player.
Where's daddy? He's becoming a professional dart player. Honey, guess what? I threw 2 darts today.
6 beers and 2 darts. I'm not talking about the smokes.
Not talking about SIGs. Yeah. So look, you want boring, you want rhythm, you want consistency. That's what you need for results. Okay. There's a reason why the people that are like, well, I love my group fitness classes, fine, that's fun, do them. But the people that's all that they do, notice how they never really change the way that they look. They're also constantly changing up the workouts in most of those classes. So you have nothing to be able to gauge, am I making progress on? Like, I never want to just seem like I'm dumping on those, but it's like, hey, do that because of fun and social, and view it the same way I'd view if I signed up for like a kickball league or a softball league as an adult. Like, hey, I'm having fun, it's social, I'm moving, awesome. But that's not my workout. That's my activity for the day, but that's not my workout.
It's your little extra cardio or something, yeah. So yeah, it's just like it's just basics, man. Like, and I think we've treated those as like these forgotten about things where it's that foundation, and it's the foundation and it's the top of the pyramid, really. Like it's kind of the whole kit and caboodle of like, yeah, if you can do these are very boring, simple things, but they're going to be what drives 90% of of the change, right? And it is just doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Um, you know, it, to kind of like iterate on that point more, like one good year of training, you're going to probably build about 90% of the muscle genetically you'll ever build, right? 2 years, you're sitting at 100%. And that doesn't mean that it's not going to get denser and it's not going to still grow in a sense. But after 2 years of training, you're pretty much done genetically. Well, now what, right? You still got to then continue to do the boring stuff, continue to love doing that process and just doing all of those things. Because, yeah, you can still make those changes, but it's just not going to be what it was those first 2 years.
Coach, I lifted for 2 years. Hop on trend.
Yeah. That honestly, I was like, maybe because I've always like kind of half joked, I'm gonna hop on like some TRT or something once I hit 50. That's like, you know what? At that point I've had more than 25 years of training under my belt. You know what? Let's go out Jackson Tan, baby. Like, let's go. But now I'm like, maybe I'll do it a little bit earlier because like, why not? Like, it's not like I need a ton. Just give me a little extra TRT and well, away we go.
I mean, as always, start with getting your levels checked out, because if you're already naturally sitting like 700 to 800, then you don't even need TRT. It's like, no,
Yeah.
a standard TRT dose of like 100 to 150 milligrams a week, you would just literally end up exactly where you're at and then not experience anything, versus, hey, I'm taking the test to stay at that level because I'm shutting down my natural production. But now that's whenever you add on the trend, the primo, you know what? Before this goes down that path,
Yeah.
let's play a blind rank, okay?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right. Here's my idea for blind rank this week. All right, so we got Super Bowl on Sunday. I asked ChatGPT to randomize 20 Super Bowl winning teams, so from the last 20 years. Okay? So the first one out the gate, I think this is a big hitter.
We're not doing 20. Are we doing still top five, right? We're not doing 20.
Yeah. Just blind
Okay.
ranking 5.
Wait, I'm not going to be able to remember this.
All right.
So who do you have at 17? Fuck if I know.
So, okay. So let's do this. It's spitting out all the random ones from the last 20 years, and the first one out, 2021 Los Angeles Rams. So that was Stafford's first year with them. That was such a feel good year. Plus, like Aaron Donald getting a ring,
And Stafford finally getting his too after all those years in
Cup,
Detroit. Yeah,
Cooper
Cup.
Cup. That was his best year. That was like his MVP caliber year. I mean,
Yeah. Now he's with the Hawks. So I would go. I'll go three because yeah, there's some feel good stories there.
I'm gonna go. Oh gosh, being a Bucks fan, I'll never forget the Birdie Manuel catch, which the NFL came back and said yes, it was a catch from the NFC Championship 2001. That should have been us who beat the Titans, and then Tony Dungy would have kept his job, and whole different trajectory for the Bucks. Um, I will always have a little bias towards the Rams. I want to go three, but because of my own personal bias, I'm going to go four. All right. Next up is the 2016 New England Patriots.
I mean, I was such a big Tom Brady fan and love the Patriots dynasty. I'm gonna go two because just in case there's like the Legion of Boom Seahawk one in there. So, but I'll go two.
Okay. So I'm also going to go two because I'm just thinking those Patriot teams start to kind of run together because it was a true dynasty.
Was that the Randy Moss year, or did he come a little bit later?
You know what? I think that was the Randy Moss year. Let me,
When they hooked up for like 50 touchdowns over the course of this season.
that was, I'm looking at the roster. Hang on. So, wow. All right. Final roster. No, that wasn't the Randy Moss year.
Okay.
So, okay, that was LeGarrette Blount at running back, so former Buccaneer great.
I mean,
Amendola, Edelman, Floyd, Hogan. No Wes Welker.
that was later on because he was in St. Louis then, wasn't he?
I
Or was
guess
that
so.
Amendola?
Even even for tight end. Okay. Huh. Where this is weird. I don't know if this is the right roster because it's saying final roster. Oh, Gronk was on IR that year. Okay, because I was seeing Martellus Bennett and I'm like, wait,
Yeah. Oh
where's
yeah.
Gronk?
That's right. Probably threw his back out partying too much.
So that was also the year that his brother was on practice squad. So, anyways, I'm going to. That was a good year. They beat the. That was the Falcons. That was the year it was 28-3.
That was a great game.
You know what? I'm going to go two because for them to pull off that comeback,
Yeah.
that was special. I'm holding out for my Bucks, so that's the only reason why I'm not putting them number one. All right, next, 2019 Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, I
I'm going to
really
give that
like.
one. I'm going to give that one
Right.
a five. Like,
I was gonna go. I'm going four because I'm saving five for anything New York Giants related.
still a little sore about Eli.
The worst, best player ever.
I love the Manning broadcast though.
Yeah, and then when they ruined the perfect season for the Pats, I was so mad. So
So
I'll go four.
okay. So we're gonna go four. I'm going five. There it is. My Bucks. That's my number one.
Yeah, maybe I'll switch my 4 and 5 then. I'll bump that last one down to five, and I'll go Bucks four because it was still great to see Tom Brady kind of get that last one. Like I was always a big Brady fan. I would maybe move him up to like three now that we know this, but I'll go four because I'm still saving one just in case the Seattle one comes up.
Look, here's my argument. You had Tom Brady over 40, just absolutely slinging it that year. We had Gronk. We had prime Mike Evans. We got
I
Antonio.
forgot Gronk came back to that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he looked good for being
Yeah,
away from the game for a
yeah,
year. He looked good, but like we also had Cameron Braid at tight end. That was also as like a breakout player thanks to Brady. Scotty Miller. We had Chris Godwin. Like
yeah.
we were stacked, and then running back that was the LaShawn McCoy. That was the Fournette. That was Lenny Fournette. Playoff Lenny. Yeah, so like that offense,
That
and
was
then
a
on
really good team.
dude, our line was stacked. That was
Yeah,
Tristan Wirf's rookie year.
I'm not gonna know any linemen, so
we got Shaq Mason that year
Yeah,
from the Patriots. He came over with Brady. We had Ryan Jensen, who if there was gosh, trying to remember who it was. It was a rapper watching the NFC Championship and just seeing how Jensen was just meaner than a freaking rattlesnake,
yeah,
right? And he's every time like somebody would get near Brady, Jensen would just get between them, like he's getting into fights. I remember he's going, "That boy in the mud, Tom Brady, you got to buy him an Escalade." And I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, love for the center." Like we had such a phenomenal team, and then our defense, right? We had Indomikong Sue, Vita
yeah,
Vea, Jason Pierre-Paul. That was the year that Shaq Barrett became Sack Barrett, got like
yeah,
18 sacks, and then linebackers were phenomenal. Antoine Winfield Jr. breakout year as a safety. Like we were awesome. I will put that 2020 Buccaneers team up against any other Super Bowl winning team.
yeah. That's
All
awesome.
right. So that's me being a bit of a homer, but whatever.
I understand.
And then last, Philadelphia Eagles from 2017. That was the Nick Foles year.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want that as my number one. I was
Is
really
that all
hoping
you had left?
that's all I had left. So I'll switch my 5 and my 1 at least.
Man,
I do some rearranging there. I was really hoping I was gonna get that Seahawk Legion of Boom year, but I guess not.
I'm doing this just to see. So I told ChatGPT randomize another one. All right. And first one that gives me right off the rip, 2013 Seahawks.
You must have heard me.
Like that was a great year.
It was just
That was
that defense was so fun to watch, right?
yeah.
Like they had and the Sherman, they had who was that linebacker? He had the visor, Chancellor. Like yeah, they had some big guys. So, but well, there you go.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, first one that I spit out was the Seahawks. I'm just seeing what the next ones are. 2010 Green Bay Packers. That was a good team. It gave me the 2019 Chiefs again. 2012 Ravens. That was the Joe Flacco win. And then 2011 Giants.
Yeah,
That was the year of the undefeated season, wasn't it? That
I
they
think so.
started.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and head on over to fitbodinstitute.com to set up a 30-minute metabolic assessment and let us help you with your goals. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.